Hello and welcome to another segment of Western Wisconsin Journal. I'm Jamie Johnson, and I guess normally I introduce myself as the political or government correspondent, but I also like to think we do some great community events, promotion, and so we have a community event coming up, and two people are here to help me tell about it, are Mayor Rich O'Connell and Pastor Larry Simon. Gentlemen, welcome. I'm sorry, I said O'Connell, didn't I? Yeah. Well,
no,
Rich,
no funerals happening here today.
Well, that's the thing. I know both these guys. We've been on first name basis for well over a decade, and I'm sorry about the name. O'Connor, Rich O'Connor. Yeah. You know, when I interview for the political stuff, it's much more important to get that because that O'Connor name's out there. But this is not a political interview. If anything, it is community first, and it is not religious. But it is an event, and I'll let you guys tell us. We're here basically to further the Golden Rule initiative that you know, a group of people in the community started, what, 2-3 years ago. I know the school's been on board.
Right,
so.
yeah.
Go ahead.
So, you know, we've talked about the Golden Rule initiative here in the past, and we want to continue to bring events in and ideas that are going to promote the Golden Rule, but also celebrate our community, to bring the community into the fold on this. And we searched for some ideas on what to do, and it's fall, and we thought Booyah sounds like a great way to try to bring the community together like they do throughout Minnesota and northern Wisconsin. These Booyahs are everywhere right now.
And to spell it, it's B-O-O-Y-A-H, right? Typically.
Often with an exclamation point.
Right, yes. Or depending upon where you're from, they may not have the H on the end. It might be.
Oh boy.
Right.
Yep.
But we do H.
We're doing the H.
For Hudson.
Okay. And it sounds like, this sounds like something associated with New Orleans or Louisiana.
No, actually, it's not. It's more of a harvest. Again, communities coming together to celebrate the harvest season.
Okay.
And I believe that that's kind of where it got its roots.
Do we have some local examples of Booyahs that have taken place?
Actually, just last year, North Hudson had one.
Okay.
And so
for the Pepperfest.
Yep. Here for the Pepperfest group in the fall.
Right, to a fundraiser.
Well, and Pepperfest, another great example of promoting the community.
Sure,
Hudson has its Hudson Booster event, and having been a former resident of North Hudson and worked at the Pepperfest, you know, it's, you know, those 3 days are set on the calendar every year, and but they have to raise money and so forth and promote the event. So I didn't even know that they had done a Booyah last year. They're planning on repeating it.
That was what we heard.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so we've got the what, it's a Booyah. How is it tied to the Golden Rule Initiative?
Well, again, it's trying to bring people together. We want to promote Hudson as a community that is welcoming, that where people get along, and again, to promote understanding, civility with the people in our community. So we're trying to put together an event that we could probably do, hopefully do annually. We'll see what happens here. But it's
well, with all the political interviews I do, I can certainly see where, you know, trying to get some civility back into, and you know, we're now in the age, like it or not, with social media, and we have a lot of people get keyboard courageous and pretty nasty. And it's a lot different story when some of those people, you meet them face to face, right? And that's what this is trying to promote.
Yeah, I think that one of the opportunities here is that, as opposed to something on a screen, you're interacting with your neighbors.
Right.
And you know, you learn that your neighbors pretty much want the same thing as you, no matter what signs they tend to put out in the yard come voting time. And we really think that this us-them mentality is just a blight on the whole nation.
Well, right. When it comes to the Hudson community, and you know, I've been on the school board for 10 years, so you know, what is good for the community is good for all of us.
That's right.
And trying to find those common advantages, if you will. So tell us, when is the Booyah going to take place?
Okay, it'll be Saturday, October 1st, from 2 to 6 p.m. at White Camp Park.
We were just at White Camp Park on Saturday morning. I was there with my grandchildren, and the Hospital Foundation, I think, was putting on an event there. So White Camp Park is on, what's the road?
Hanley.
Hanley and O'Neill.
Right through the rocks on Hanley. Yeah.
All right, got it. And what time do you want to start it?
2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay, and when will Booyah be served?
2 o'clock.
Right
2
when,
o'clock.
okay, when people.
But that's not when it'll be cooked.
No,
We'll start way earlier.
The prep will start Wednesday, Thursday, go
Okay.
through Friday. We will be out in the park at 4 in the morning cooking. And so we'll be cooking all the way up until 2 o'clock.
Now, why should people attend other than this is a chance to get to know and meet other people from the community? What else will they expect to see happen there?
Well, it's a family event.
Okay.
So, you know, bring the kids, come
Not
along.
limited to adults.
Nope, not at all, not at all. And there are going to be games and different things for the kids. We're having, there will be beverages served. We're going to have root beer. There will be beer there as well. But it really is just a way to get to know your neighbors, to have a conversation with them, tell them, let's all go to the Booyah. We would love to see that. But you know, the most important thing, once again, is we're getting into the, as you're referencing this, the election cycle right now.
Right.
It'll only be a month away from the
Yes.
Booyah. And we just want to promote everything that the Golden Rule stands for: respect, civility, understanding.
Well, and there's, you know, and since you started this, there was, you know, some pushback from some folks saying, well, that's, hey, there's the mayor. He's supposed to be government, church and state supposed to be separate. What do you have to say about those folks who say the Golden Rule is, you know, too religious in its nature?
You know, I can't argue that it's religious, but it is in every single modern and ancient religion. And not just religions, but cultures that may not be affiliated with any type of religion. It predates Christianity by at least 2 millennia. It is in Buddhism, Taoism, in the Native American tribes practiced it. They all have their version of it, but it all comes down to those 3 things.
Treating others as you would like to be treated.
Yeah.
Right. And you know, so most famously, that comes from the lips of Jesus. But the value of that is it's a little more well known. It just becomes a common hat to hang on. You know.
Well, yeah, I did a little Googling, and it's not just, you know, in Matthew that that quote appears from Jesus, but it actually goes, you know, back to the Old Testament, which goes back.
That's where Jesus got it from.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so ancient Egypt, ancient India, ancient Greece, Persia, Rome, and then you mentioned the religions go on, and it's Asian religions as well as European. So
No, Muslims, everybody, every single culture that we can find in the history books.
now, this event, you know, basically the concept is getting people to gather together, break bread. It breaks down the barriers that we have between us. Now, there was an event put on by the Diversity Coalition, I think, here in Hudson, starting in like 2018, somewhere around there. They had a couple successful ones, and of course COVID hit, and folks, you know, 200 people sitting down together to eat. It wasn't going to happen in 2020. But is this somehow usurping or supplanting what the Diversity Coalition was doing?
No, not at all. In fact, they tried to put it together again this year, but got rained out, or at least the threat of severe storms. And
that's what happens when you pick a date and you got to go with it.
Yeah.
Now, what happens here if it gets to be one of those, you know, traditional fall, you know, morning to night rains? Is the event still on?
Yes, but can we back up for a second?
Sure,
I wanted
absolutely.
to complete the thought on the longer table.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
This is not a usurpation at all of what they were doing.
Okay.
I fully support that. I was at the first 2 that they had. I was signed up to be at the one that they were going to have this summer. I think I fully supported their event because it absolutely is in line with what we talk about as far as respect, understanding, civility, and so now, am I going to say that didn't raise our eyebrows a little bit and say that's not a bad idea to try to get our community together? Right. We absolutely agreed with that and thought, you know, look at that, look at how well it worked. I think they had 350 people there the second year. Over 200, I think, the first year, and forgive me if I'm underestimating that, but
well, imitation is the greatest form of flattery, right?
That's right.
So,
this is a little bit different, you know. Again, it's kind of it's in line with the Golden Rule, where the Golden Rule is the principle behind what we're doing here. Larry, you got anything to add to that?
Well, just that, you know, we want to see the longer table prosper. And we reached out to the people in the group and said, if you want to be part of this, we'd love to have you. So one of the hallmarks too of our group, the initiative, is the people who are involved. You got, you know, Rotarians, you got people from Kiwanis, people from the school district, people from the government, people from the church. It's about bringing the community together, and there was an intentionality about bringing different types of people from different groups, because what we have in common is Hudson.
So this is not the longer table, but it's not usurping the longer table.
No.
And the longer table concept was bringing a dish to pass. So are people expected to bring a dish to pass, or is there going to be tickets that have to be purchased, and so forth?
That's a good one. No, nobody has to bring a dish to pass. If you want to bring something to augment that with your family, pack the picnic basket and bring it on in.
Right.
But no, we're actually
Bring your own side dishes if that's what
if you want.
Yeah.
We're having some things there too.
In addition to like the stew, the Booyah itself, we will have like kiddie packs, and some adults want to do hot dogs and cookies and chips and soda, you know, beer, different things that people can buy.
Right, because
Not everyone's a Booyah.
That's right. Most kids
and they don't know if they are yet.
It can be a little bit finicky, you
That's
know.
right.
And so let's give those folks who are maybe a little more adventuresome in the Booyah. This is not going to be your super spicy variety.
So let me explain.
What's in it?
Good. There we go. There's 300 pounds of meat, 100 pounds of chicken, 100 pounds of pork, 80 to 100 pounds of beef. There'll be some sausage in there, and then you've got all the garden coming in: potatoes, rutabagas, perhaps turnips.
This sounds like very large portions.
Tomatoes, well, the pot is about the size of this table.
Yeah.
Okay.
And about this high, about like this, and it's stirred with a canoe paddle, and like I said, we're going to be cooking it for quite some time. But that's what goes in there. It's a lot of ingredients.
Well, you know, as a former golf course cook, and I've cooked for 60 to 80 people. This is much more than that. Nobody's going to be drinking.
On.
Yeah. What kind of estimates? I mean, do you hope to have how many people?
We were hoping our target's 400. We hope for more, but we should have more than enough.
We're hoping to be able to feed 400.
Okay.
I would say I don't want to get, you know, out in the weeds on this, but I would say a successful event would be 200 plus for the first year. I can't remember what they said they had in North Hudson. Do you remember? But
no.
I know they had a couple hundred or more.
Push for a high goal, and you know, and see what happens. Now, the hope is that it is a successful event, something that can be replicated.
Right.
And will it be the same time next year, do you think, or?
It will be the same time of year.
Okay.
Can't guarantee October 1st. You would ask a question, and I said I wanted to back up. Let me answer that question that we put on hold, and that is what happens if the weather's not good.
Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah. We're going to have 50 gallons of Booyah. This is rain or shine. And of course, we're going to be in the pavilion. We've got the 2 pavilions there. And and you know what, because it is a fall event, it could be cooler weather, and that's what happens with Booyahs. And you just, as you come out, prepare for that.
Well, it will be warm at least, right? The Booyah.
The food, yes.
Yeah, the Booyah will be hot.
Okay.
Also, you know, getting back to the family idea too, is that there'll also be like Clifford the Big Red Dog, Cinderella will be there. We'll have a fire truck, a EMS ambulance. We'll have a police car there as well. So there'll be a lot of cornhole games, just chancing out. And you know, they got a great swing set playground type thing over there at White Camp, and so it's tying into what's already there and bringing some other things to bear upon this, you know, the opportunity.
Excellent, excellent.
And Larry had begun to reference, when you do that, you always kind of, not you personally, but just people in general, you always go, oh, I forgot about them. The people that are helping out, you know.
So yeah, who's involved? You guys are here promoting it, but who are some of the folks that are behind the scenes, integral to its planning?
So let me begin by saying this. When the Golden Rule Initiative began, I reached out to a number of the service organizations and the Ministerial Association. Got that right. I always call it the Alliance.
Yeah, we better tell our viewers, not everyone would recognize you from your day job, so to speak, but you are...
Pastor at Faith Community here on Carmichael Road.
Okay. There's a lot of people that know where Faith Community Church is. They just don't
They
know
just
necessarily.
got a stoplight today.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, they
yeah,
really?
the lights just went
Yeah, it
on
just
today.
went in.
Okay. Well, we won't take that down the government road right now, but
Yeah.
but it is. Everyone knows where you're from anyway. Yes.
So we've got the Hudson Police, Hudson Fire, the Lakeview EMS service, the Ministerial Association, Lions, Rotary, Kiwanis, the YMCA, Boy Scouts, Youth Action, Hudson, now the school system. So now you fill in the blanks. What did I miss?
No, I think that's all the groups I can
Well,
understand.
you just clicked off well over a dozen organizations that are all integral to community-minded.
Yeah, and one of the things we'd say too is that in our team, the Golden Rule Initiative team, it's not a monolith. We have people with very different thoughts in a number of areas, and we are more committed to the goodwill of one another than we are those areas. And it's been a good model of what we're hoping to see embodied in our event.
Excellent, excellent. Anything then else that we need to touch on? But I think we've covered pretty much the why, when, what, where, and who. So thank you for mentioning all the ties in this community that different people can have, and you don't have to be a member of any of those organizations to actually come to this.
No.
You're not going to be asking for IDs or calling for driver's licenses or anything.
Well, for the beer.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, no. This is anybody. You don't have to live in Hudson. No. You don't have to live in the Hudson area. You can come across the border. You can come. Anybody that sees this or hears about it, everybody is welcome here. It's just for a community, and a community is more than just geographic boundaries.
If my grandkids are visiting from Rochester, they love that White Camp Park playground. So I can bring them then. They don't, even though they don't go to school here.
No.
And they can hang out with Clifford and Cinderella and jump in the fire truck. Yeah.
Sounds like a good time. Well, guys, thanks for coming on the show. Thanks for putting this on and putting your efforts into this, common understanding and promoting the goodwill of this community. I think it would be appreciated if we can extend that beyond just one time a year event, right?
Yeah, what we experience, we'd like for them to experience that together and then take it with them.
Exactly.
Especially through the election cycle.
Yeah.
That even people have different signs, to look at them, that's my neighbor and I want the best for them.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. And if people want to learn anything more, I don't know what other details there might be, but is there a website that folks can go to learn more about it? You've already indicated it's from 2 to 6. Right. So they don't have to be there at 2 p.m. to participate, but if everything goes well and we got great weather, you might be out of Booyah by 6 o'clock.
That would be great. I mean, because that's a lot of food that's going in there, and we'd like to see it all go out. And I should add, there's takeout too. So if you can't hang out there, we have the capability to fill up some
quart size to go.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Very good. Well, okay, but is there a website or Facebook page?
Facebook, you could go to my personal Facebook page, Rich O'Connor, or go to the Rich O'Connor Hudson Mayor page, or the
Golden Rule Initiative
Facebook page.
So there's 3 right there.
Also, the city
Facebook pages.
Facebook page. I have a mayor's page there as well as the city page.
Excellent.
And I think it's also in the newsletter that's going to be coming out here, hopefully before the event, because we're promoting it in that. You'll see some signs up.
Saturday, October 1st, 2 p.m., White Camp Park.
That's right.
2 to 6.
And 2
to 6. Come anytime you can, but be there.
All right, very good. Well, Rich and Larry, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for the invitation.
You bet. And thank you, folks, for watching another segment of Western Wisconsin Journal. I'm Jamie Johnson. I guess please come to this event and help us promote Hudson in the whole Golden Rule Initiative. And thank you for watching another segment.